Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It's all right. I'm just trying to keep up with this. There's not enough difference between the two numbers I've got of ticks there, so started doing that lately for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. That's better. There we go. Okay, so hope everyone is well. Not exactly sure what's going on here at the moment. It could be kind of like a bull flag. This thing could tear off. We've got some news coming up in around about 30 minutes. I'm just looking. There's not a huge amount of orders here at the moment. Seems mainly run by aggressive buyers and sellers. Let's see how we get on anyway. Seems to be a little bit of a range going on here, maybe. We need to break out the top, I think. So, order-wise, there are sellers around about the 7,000 level, which is there. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? Apart from that, it's not a huge amount. There are some around the 7,000 level. If we can get a couple of legs up or maybe a break here or something, we may get something. But we've got a channel there with a break and a new high. It does seem to be coming down, although it's doing it quite sideways. That's kind of like a bull flag, so whether it rockets up again, it's hard to say. But 98 and 7,000 their orders, so that's kind of in the right area. Sellers up here, so if we go sideways, make two legs up, we may kind of flush down. So I'm looking for a push out the top. Okay, we've cleared previous liquidity. There is a second entry short there. The only slight issue I have, there's not a huge amount of sellers up here, but there's enough, I think. Okay, I thought we might get a big bearish drop there. It doesn't look like we're going to. Oh, maybe we are. Tempting that. Trouble is, we're coming away from the bottom. So that could mean a breakout. So we've got orders up here, so I think it's worth sitting tight here. We're coming away from the bottom, so we may get a break of this channel. So there is a second entry short there. The setup doesn't look terrible, but the context is a bit risky for me, so I'm just sitting tight here. We're actually, if this is a channel, we've kind of bounced twice here. We're coming away, so this may end up pushing up a little bit. Looks like it's working. The setup didn't look terrible. It was off the right area, but the fact that we're coming away and we're bottoming here, and that made me stay out of this. Brant, how you doing? Can you not hear me? Oh, okay. Speedy, how you doing? You should speak, because yeah. It did work. The trouble is you can see it on here as well. If it's bouncing there, we're coming away there. See how we're struggling a little bit. So sometimes that'll lead to a break. And I can see sell orders up here. So this plus this just tells me to be careful. It did work. As I say, the setup doesn't look too bad. It's two little legs up. It's a second entry short. It's closing below EMA. It's bounced off there. But just because of that reason, I'm happy to leave that. Would it have worked? Not as yet. So if I got in one tick below there, which is, let's say there, it would have to go another 2 ticks, and it may do. But if you look at that higher low there, that's already, any liquidity that may have been there has already dropped. It looks like it may work, but I'm quite happy to leave that because of this. It's not without its risks. Same again, as we've pushed down, we're struggling a bit here. It may push through, but I don't know, I'm quite happy to leave it, as I've probably said 3 times. So it's just one of those things there, but we are losing, we're going sideways and maybe starting to do that. So it would have to get to there for me. It does look like it's going to work. But same again, you can see that bar and the next 3 bars were all finding a little bit of support there. It may just drop one more tick and it would have worked, but as I say, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, okay, so it worked anyway, but that's okay. There was a few alarm bells there that was concerning me a little bit. Not only that, it does look quite bull flaggy, doesn't it? I think it's probably come down a bit too much for that. So we have, where's my all-time highs? Up here somewhere. I did put the bar there. What is going on here? Should be 10 days. Okay, I know why it's doing it. I know why. Main chart. Okay, should be right now. These channels are quite a bit different. We've more or less hit the bottom there. I mean, I could bring that down a fraction, but it's negligible. That's looked a bit. Oh, okay, yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so sellers. There are some sellers around about the 94 area, which is there. That's no good for me, that. And then 98 up to 7. In this area, there are sellers anyway, so but that looking bull flag is making me a little concerned. I don't know how bull flags work, how far they've got to come down. Probably halfway, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't really trade bull flags, but I'm aware of them. We did something like this the other week. We did this, and then it shot up for a complete other leg. So we'll see. So just looking on this CL chart, we got a channel with a break and a new high. There's a lower high there. I don't know, you may argue there's a possible failure there. I don't like it anyway, but we've come down. We've had an overshoot. Now, is this going to reverse or what? I don't know, but it's been rubbish lately, this has. But it's definitely worth having a second chart at the moment. Their good setups are quite scarce. Arminas, how you doing, pal? Okay, there are buyers down here. Nothing you can do here. We got a channel up like that. You have to give this a bit of space. That could trigger and push up. Could be a break there. And then you're looking at this. Richard, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, Dan, not sure what to draw here. That kind of makes sense. If it is a bit of a bull flag, it may continue on up there, or we could get a channel break new high, clear any previous liquidity around this area, and then come down and retest the bottom. So I got sellers at 89, which is 89, hold on a second. Sorry, 98. So I got sellers here, sellers at 7,000, and then I've got buyers down here. Now that makes sense. Sellers up here, buyers down here. We do seem to be going sideways. So I'd like to get a second leg up, at least to get into these sellers here, and then wait for it to get below the EMA and maybe follow it down for a test. We've made a matching high, I think. But I'm sitting tight here. We have cleared some of this liquidity. I would prefer, there's a second entry short that I would prefer to get above that bar there. And if we get up to this area, this 7,000 area, we will do that. I'll clear any of this, that one, maybe the lower high, that one. So there's definitely liquidity there. But then you've got to be careful of the bull flag if it does seem to. So we clearly got aggressive buyers in here at the moment, just buying away. And that's pushing this up. Can't sell here because of those orders. It may well come down, but it's irrelevant. I know there's liquidity here, and I know there are sellers up there trying to exploit that. So either two things are going to happen. It's either going to continue up in a bull flag, or it's going to push up, get into some of these sellers, clear some of this liquidity, and hopefully test these lows. Could do either or, really. Possible failure here, but I don't want to go long. Although I think it's likely to push up. I want likely, I want sure. That's the beauty about having Bookmap. You wouldn't see these orders up here. And as a patch trader, we're looking for a break of a channel and a retest of the lows. So it'd be easy to take that second entry short with channel break, new high. There's going to be traders who are taking that to test the lows, and it may well work. We've had a matching top, but with those orders up here, it's too dangerous to take that. I wouldn't take the long either because that's weak as well. But my guess is it's going to push above this because it's quite likely going to take out some of this liquidity before there's enough sellers wanting to push this thing south. And you can see them up here. They're sat up here ready to try and push this thing down. And that is really, this is the area where you want to be selling, isn't it, to test these lows. But if aggressive sellers like this, they may jump in now. So there's not really much I can do here. I've just got to sit like a good boy and drink me coffee. So if you had taken that second entry short Tesla lows, it would have triggered you, stopped you out. I never really used to take them anyway, to be honest with you. I have done, but I always wait for the lower high. Saves you getting trapped. Okay, so we have picked some sellers, but there are still 200 contracts sat there, which is not that far away. And if you look, it's right above there. So on my main chart, that's a second entry short there. Then there's kind of a lower high. So we're likely going to clear all these, and that would be two nice little legs up. So I'm looking for it to hit that 7,000 and then see some rejection. And if I get some rejection, I'll likely wait for it to continue below that EMA. So there we go. So we've hit those sellers now. Let's see if those sellers, you can see these aggressive buyers here though. There's double the amount of aggressive buyers, so they're trying to push price up. And now all of a sudden you can see at 98.75 there are passive orders down here, which is there. So there are traders trying to push this thing up. So the bull flag scenario may work. I wouldn't get in here. I'd have to wait for that push below the EMA. If we get that below that EMA, chances are then it's going to test the lows. But we're at kind of the crunch area at the moment. Any liquidity here, with the exception of up here, is now been taken out. This has gone a bit high for me, this has. Sellers around this area, which have now been taken. And is that 710? Up there, I'm guessing, yeah, it is. There are a big chunk of sellers up here, and that may well slowly suck the price up. 300 odd contracts, I think. So that the retest of this, I'm no longer really concerned with. I don't think we're going to get it now. So maybe this is not so much of a channel, maybe just a bit of a mess. I mean, to be honest with you, it could be something like that. A little spike and channel, in which case we've had a small break and a new low. So it's hard to say, really. I know a few traders that I can see have got that, but obviously he's got the same. He's got the same. It's kind of an area of development, as Thomas Way calls it. So did that work? Looks like it, yeah. So, yeah. So these things change. So I would probably be more that. So maybe a small break, a couple of pushes to a new low, somewhere along those lines anyway. So let's get rid of these. Now this for me now is likely to go up, as I say, testing. See, if you look on the daily, it could absolutely continue on up. We've had that pullback and then a higher low yesterday. Really strong bullish day. We had that little bit of pullback, but that's a strong day, that is. And you kind of what you'd expect. So I won't be surprised in the slightest if we break all-time highs, which is up there. I did put something up there, but it's disappeared. So somewhere along those lines, I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest. I mean, this is strong. This is 710. Where's 710 up here? So we're not far away. What's that? 36. So that'd be 26 points. If we hit that 710 with 26 points, and based on a leg and a leg and a leg, can absolutely get all-time highs by the end of the day. That's for certain. There it is. So give or take a point or two, somewhere around about there. So it is starting to look like a bit of a bull flag, isn't it? So that would take us very close, literally within spitting distance. So let's put that there like that. And like that. That doesn't look too bad. So I'm looking for some buyers down here now. So 7,000 buyers, a little break. We've matched all-time highs. So if we can get a little two-legged pull back here, we may get something. There are buyers there and a little bit lower. But you can see that 710 area. There's 300 odd contracts sat there. So whether it'll get there, who knows? But I'd like to see a little correction before we do. Okay, we've got some news coming up now. It is medium impact news, but sometimes it does make a difference. Okay, excuse me just for a second. Okay, so we've broke the overnight high, so I'm looking for a little pullback now. I just hope we make these 2 legs down after this news comes. It's weird, I never used to pay attention to medium impact news, and all of a sudden we had one medium impact news, Chicago or something or other, it shot up about 15 or 18 points, and from then on it seems to make a difference. I think that's VWAP. Is that staggered line VWAP? Yeah, I think it is. Sure. But there is 100 odd contracts here. I've just been taken. Nothing I can do here anyway. We got this news coming up in any second now. So channel break. Okay, so it hasn't done much really. Yeah, I believe I can. Which can you see can you see there? Is that solid line or is the dash line at 250 here? Is that VWAP or is it the one below? Because I know it makes a difference, or it can do. I used to have it to one of my charts maybe 6 months ago, but can you see that? Can you? There's 2 lines there. There's the dashed one at 250, and there's the solid one around, I don't know, 6 and 6.5 or something. I'm not sure which it is. Nothing I can do anyway. We're too far from that AMA. You get in, it may just decide to drop down. So we've got a channel with a break and a new low in one foul swoop. You think it's the dash one, which is there. I mean, that's where you would want to get in anyway, really, wouldn't it? A couple of legs down, so that's interesting. So with those 300 odd contracts up there, I would not want to be going short there. So hopefully this will come down. I wouldn't go long there either. Hopefully it'll come down, clear that, and get down to that EMA and maybe give us something. There's nothing I can do that far from the EMA anyway. What I will say is there is maybe a little bit of support there, which is good. So if we can get below this, clear maybe. If there's any buyers there, there's probably going to be some stops there. Little pullback, there may be some more. If we can get down to the EMA, we may get something up if we are bouncing at VWAP there. And then you can see we got a stack of sell orders up there. That's telling me that if it gets down here, it may well push up. And obviously we've broken the highs as well, but you've got to be careful. It doesn't come back in like a range, but it's not looking like a range to me. Okay, so if you got in there, you got stopped out. So that would be a second entry long. It's very tempting. It's not a huge channel, so let me get an order ready. I'm going to see how it looks. If you look on this chart here, there's a big bearish bar there which is triggered. I would not want to be going short there. Trouble is, there's not much room up there, to be fair, is there? What's that looking like? I don't know, there's just something about this I'm not really massively wrapped with. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this performs. Trouble is, we've got VWAP down there, see, so see if we get a high or low. That for certain. Someone said beautiful second entry long. That's trapped a few people, that has for sure. Something about it I just didn't like. That trapped a bunch of people. Something I didn't like about that. The trouble is, we've made one attempt to go higher. It's hard to say once we've broken these highs. But that, oh, there's quite a few people took that. Took it, got stopped. Clear market, structure, great setup. Didn't work. Yeah, trapped some traders, that did. You didn't take it. Yeah, exactly. It's a good feeling to have that. Something doesn't feel right. I just didn't like it. And I think if you don't like it, something doesn't feel right, wait for the higher low. Because if it doesn't trap me and you get higher low, then there's a good chance then it's going to push up. Not only that, there's just not a lot of space to the highs, and that's important as well. If you go a tick above there, what is there? 0.75, so you get a 0.5 at a push. Now, the fact that there are a lot of sellers up there, the trouble is, from here, it's still 4 points away, and the further away these passive orders are, the more the more difficult it is to get them. So to get up there, should I say? So that definitely trapped a few traders. When you do stay out of them, and they would have trapped you, it's kind of a nice feeling. Now, you could have taken the failure at that, but the trouble is, it may pull back a little bit and then hold. But you could take the failure, but once that bar's made, that's an engulfing bar then, so that they're not as secure. I tend to stay away from them. Really, there's not much price action there, really, is it? Consider the market's been open 40 minutes. Okay, we've still got these orders up here. Let's see if we find resistance again, or we push higher. Trump speaking at 9 o'clock UK time. Tis concerning, isn't it? I know now they've got an aircraft carrier. I think they got 4 ships in that area now of Iran. So is that going to kick off in Iran? It quite might well do. World's a scary place at the moment. Maybe about Minneapolis. I'm assuming that's the carrier, is it? I think there's 4 ships, 3 ships or 4 ships. Most of these carriers have, I know British carriers, I'm pretty sure they have they're usually backed up by a couple of destroyers, obviously smaller ships, but it's getting scary, isn't it? Oh, I see what you mean, sorry. Yeah. Oh, is it? I got you. I know I heard on the news, I think early hours of the morning, it was arriving in that area, so, world's a scary place. Okay, so we've got a channel here with the break. Let's see where this thing goes. So we've made 1, 2. This is the 3rd attempt. So it may go up or it may get sent downwards. Is that lawyer Nick, is it? Sorry, blood-sucking lawyer Nick, as I call you. Is that you? I think it is. Okay, so channel break. Possibly a second entry long, possibly coming back. It is. I got you. I got my eye on you. I got my finger on the button. How's things with Vladdy? He's a character, isn't he? He certainly is. See, you tend to think to be a trader or to be a good trader, you've got to be a very calm, patient person. He kind of breaks the mold, really, doesn't he? Vladdy the baddie. I like that. Vladdy the baddie. That's a good one, that is. Vladdy the baddie. Maybe one out. I saw the recording. You had did you, Vladdy? Yeah. He's a character, put it that way. To be honest with you, he sounds so stressed all the time and angry all the time. He's a nice guy, but he has this. Yeah, he has this. I don't know. He seems angry all the time and seems stressed all the time, but I don't know. All I can say is his poor wife. But he's a nice guy. I've chatted to him on the phone, and he's a nice guy, but he seems on edge of his seat all the time. You tend to think, as a trader, you need to be the complete opposite. Like me, nice and calm. I have my moments, and I've had my moments, certainly. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange. You wouldn't think, because he does go on a lot about, trading's boring. I've been sat here all bloody day. It's part of it. There's nothing you can do about it. And I think if you're frustrated about it and you're stressed all the time, you're just going to make your job 10 times harder. It's unusual. I mean, when you listen to the guy, you think there's no way he'd make a good trader. But, he seems to do okay. So I don't know. Make a second leg down. Yeah, God knows what's going on here. So we've had a couple of little. This thing could go up. It could come down. I got no idea. We could make 2 attempts to go lower and then up for for a bit more. I mean, we've certainly got scope for it. We got all-time highs up here. Yeah, he's definitely a character. He's quite hard to follow, actually. If you listen to him a lot. I mean, I've listened to some of the recordings, and you're kind of worn out by the end of it. So there is kind of like a second entry long gear. I'm just sitting tighter. I don't know. It's a little bit choppy at the top. It may push up through it, but we're clearly struggling to get up at the moment. So I'd rather let someone else have a crack at that. Someone's saying second entry long fell, second entry short. It is kind of a failure, but are you trapping this? I don't know. It's not clear for me. I'm certainly not going long. It may push above you and then drop down, but it's too risky. This is clearly choppy. But yeah, he does wear you out, I gotta say. He does. He must have his wife must have the patience of a saint. That's all I can say. But no, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But he seems to me like he needs to do some sort of meditation, or get a massage or something. Not a good setup. No, I mean, the trouble is, it could go up or it could come down. It's the toss of a coin, this area, isn't it? We've not really had a lot of volume, really. It's been quite low, and it's not really clear. I thought we had a bigger channel down there, and the thing just decided to take off. So I don't like days like this. You like to see a little bit of structure, so you can kind of work out what's going on. But days like this doesn't make sense, does it? Now, we have got those sellers up there. There's 300 odd contracts, but we are struggling to get up there. It is, mate, yeah. Is Minneapolis, was that what happened with, is it, do they call them ICE? Those ICE agents? Was it that? I caught a little bit on the news about it. They disarmed that guy, didn't they? And then shot him anyway, shot and killed him anyway. So I'm assuming that's about that, isn't it? I don't know, but the world's a scary place at the moment. That's it, is it? Yeah, I couldn't quite understand that. They disarmed him. I mean, apparently it was legal for him to carry, so okay. The trouble is, if you make it legal for you to carry, police have got to be aware that people they may be arresting, are legally armed. So, there's obviously a protocol for that, but I don't quite know what happened. But I know they arrested him, didn't they? And then they shot him anyway. But it's legal for him to carry, but he didn't have his permit on him, so that made it illegal. But the trouble is, they disarmed him, didn't they? So I don't know. You only really know what you hear in the press and on the news. You don't always get the full truth, do you? You don't. Sometimes there are things missing. But it's scary, isn't it? I was listening to a military tactical expert. He spent 20, 25, 30 years in the British military. I think he came out very high ranking. And they were talking about possible war with Russia. And he believes it's already started, in the terms of it will start with sabotage, things like that. All the stuff that can be done online to infrastructure, that sort of thing. You tend to think war is all about bombs and missiles. It often starts, because the UK have backed and obviously sent lots of weapons for what's it to use, to defend themselves against Russia. So obviously Russia are taking that personally. But he was talking about various different scenarios, and he believes it's already started in some form. It's scary, really, isn't it? How things could turn out. 1 minute you could be sat in your room trading, talking to you guys, and who knows what might happen the day after. It's the gun. They disarmed, misfired, and the agents reacted. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You never quite know all the full story, do you? Just what kind of comes out in the press, and half of that stuff is, is made just as much for entertainment purposes, so you don't know how they change things or blow things out or twist things. Press are very good at that. So we had that scenario here with, was it John Charles de Menezes, something like that. I think it was shortly after the bombing of the bus in London, the double-decker bus in London. He saw the police, decided to run. I think he was from Brazil or something. I'm assuming they tend to run from the police a lot in Brazil. He ran, was chased onto a subway train and was killed, and he was just an innocent guy. The trouble is, when there is a lot of there's a lot of concern and a lot of trouble, people get on edge, and that's when things can go wrong. By proxy for exactly. I just hope to God it never turns into a nuclear war. That it doesn't work for anyone, does it? There's really no winners there. Nuclear weapons should only ever be there as a deterrent and nothing more. Ben, how you doing, pal? How you doing? You just came in at the right time, mate. We're just talking about nuclear war. Let's hope that never happens, eh? I'm going to move this up a little bit. We do possibly see... we may be finding some range tops there. Now, we've had that really strong move up yesterday. The thing didn't half move up. For some reason, I keep losing my days here. I don't know why it keeps reverting to 3. I keep adding it to my template, so save as main chart. For some reason, I seem to be losing it, but we had a strong day yesterday, a really nice bull bar on the daily, so we could consolidate a little bit before we may get in contact with all-time highs. So we've made 4 attempts to push up. We pushed below the EMA. There is a lower high there, but I don't like this. It's a little bit choppy. Playing the war games. I know they've... I think the reserve military, the reserves or ex-military, obviously in the UK, when you finish the military, I think you're on reserve, I think for 5 or 10 years, something like that, which means you can get called up. And they've increased the age from 55 to 65, so there's been quite a lot of stuff about that on social media with people turning up with walking sticks and inhalers and knackered knees. So, I don't know. Yeah. So, second entry long, possible failure. Trouble is, we've cleared any liquidity here. The next lot is probably down here. So, I don't think I'd really want to go short. Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. I mean, you could adjust that. Maybe to that and to that, but I don't like this. It's not, it's too choppy, really. There is a lower high. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes out that lower high and then comes down and clears this, but there's nothing you can really do here, to be honest with you. Someone just mentioned fail second entry long. On my chart here, that bull bar, although technically still a failure, is an inside bar here, so it's a bit choppy and sideways and a bit weak. So I wouldn't want to be going short. I mean, to be honest with you, it's only a small bar, 6 ticks. Even if you get out at the, even if you trap that bull bar there and you get down to there, you've probably made 6 ticks, but it's not for me. 6 ticks down here. Yeah, there's 6 ticks. You probably got to push through, but if you hit the stop for there, you're probably going to, well, there you go, that would have worked, but it's not for me. It's not the greatest looking failure, to be honest with you. Now, if this thing rockets down here, maybe it will look okay, but I don't know. It's just something about this. It may just take that out. It's very choppy, and in that case, it can be very trappy. So I'm just sitting tight here at the moment, letting it all sort itself out. Volume's low. It's not clear. In fact, what time is it? I'm going to take advantage of this and take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea while it's just sorting itself out. So I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, so the failure, I don't think would have worked for me. Where was it? There. No, it wouldn't have done. I'd have been 3 ticks short, I think, before I got stopped out. It's too congested here, really. Along there, it's too dangerous. Certainly is, mate. Naff in it. Chop, 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 chop. Not a lot of it. There's no kind of, there's no kind of pattern to it, really. It's just kind of very random, isn't it? What I suppose I'm looking for is maybe something like that. Move up a couple of legs back, a little bit of consolidation, and then up again. If you look on the daily, see, it could definitely push up more, but I'm not surprised that it's having a little bit of sideways. So we've had that really strong bar up. We are up a little bit, so we could do a little bit of sideways, but that's a nice higher low. That it's in a strong position. So by this day's out, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if we'd have made all-time highs. We're not far away. 28 points, not a lot really. But with that move up there and that really strong higher low, I wouldn't be surprised. But we could consolidate a little bit, couldn't we? But if I had to make a prediction, my guess is we'll quite likely make all-time highs by the end of the day, but that doesn't really help us. Doesn't really do much for us. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. If we can get another strong bounce here, we may get a move up. Maybe doing it now. Apex 90% off. They tend to do this midstream for some reason. I don't know why. Let me just have a look. Oh, yes, they are. And have they got the percent off? $75 PA fee. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, let's change that. Yeah, so there you go, 90% off. So if you do pick one up and use my code, it's much appreciated. They stopped doing the 90% offs for a while, but recently they seem to be doing it quite a lot. So 90% off. When does it end? Wednesday, the 4th of February. Okay, let me just update this. There we go. Okay, yeah, just in case anybody didn't notice, Apex 90% off and $75 for PA fees. That's for the 25, the 50, the 75, and the 100. I'll update that a little bit more later, so I've just put it there. So if you do pick one up and you use my code, it's appreciated. Okay, where's this thing going now? Okay, so those orders. Why is this not working? Oh, you Wally. I think I'd paused it. Okay, so we did hit those big orders there. So, as I say, push up, 2 attempts to go lower. My guess is this is going to move up either for a second leg from here, so I'm going to do that. I'm not too bothered about the first one. So I'm guessing maybe somewhere along those lines. All-time highs up here, so it's just not super clear, so I wouldn't just jump in willy-nilly. That there is just a possible area where it may move up to, but to be honest with you, we got a channel here and we got a break already, so God knows what's going to happen. So let's have a look further up. So up to 14. So there are sellers up here. There's quite a few around here, but equally there's buyers around here as well, down as much as 5. So there are buyers there. In fact, let me just do this. So there are buyers all around this area, 100 under contracts from 5 to 9. So let's say from there to 9. So there are buyers all in this area, and then sellers up there. So I don't know. My guess is it's probably going to continue up. There's nothing you can do here. They're just floating in the middle of nowhere. So you will wait for a pullback. Sometimes we just don't get one, but nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. So channel break, new high, channel break, new low, channel break, attempt at new high. VWAP is there as well. Whether that makes a difference. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. There's quite a lot of sellers up here, right in this area. If you look at 20 as well, 200 contracts sat right at that measured move. So my guess is this is going to continue up based on what I can see. Trade day is 75 William. Yeah, the trouble is with those, I think, is great if you pass it, but if you fail it, it's a $75 evaluation. I like the idea of, say, the take profit traders, but if you're kind of not relatively experienced or you're not making money, you want to kind of keep it cheap, which is either Apex or Bull and Ox, the ones that do the cheaper evaluations. Oh, this thing's taking off. So I'd rather have cheaper evaluations because I trade them aggressively. Now I've got 20 accounts anyway, so I can't pick any more up, but I'd rather use the cheaper evaluations and then pay whatever it is for the PA fee. But at some point later in the year, I will start picking up some of those. I've not tried Trade Day before. I've tried Tradeify. Lucid I haven't tried yet. So at some point, up in the next few months, I might start picking up some Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, and possibly Lucid. The only trouble is with those, the straight to funded ones are quite pricey, and you can get 5 of them and pay $1,750. It's a fair chunk of change. Right, okay, so there's 421 contracts right here. Let me have a look. About 421 contracts. About there. Just about there. And we've got some sellers as well. Or is that? That's. Yeah, there's 170 odd contracts. So there's buyers and sellers right here. 16 as well. Sellers there. So we may get a small pullback here. Trouble is, unless it gets close to the top here or to this area, there's nothing we can really do. There are buyers at 11. Yes, there are buyers down here, sellers here and here, but it's just taking off, isn't it? Aggressive buyers coming in. You can see there's twice as many aggressive buyers at the moment. And 20 as well, which is there. So sellers. There's sellers all the way up here. Buyers down here. So I'd like a couple of legs down. Maybe there's a bigger channel there. Let me just kill that colour so it's an area of interest. We'll get rid of that now. Up a little bit sideways, strong move up again. $15, $16. Sellers there, buyers there. Come on, let's have a little pullback. Disco, how you doing, buddy? From Rye today. Where is that? Rye, I can't think. So, sellers above the highs of this channel. If we can get down here to some buyers, couple of legs for buyers, we may get a move. You say Rye, you don't mean Rye, do you? East Sussex. Okay, got you. Come on, back again. Back again. Come on. Now, I've got two scenarios here. On the left chart, we've got a channel break and a new high. There is a lower high. It may come back to the EMA. I'm sitting tight here. Or there's slightly larger channel. What I'm seeing on Bookmap, though, there are buyers here and sellers here. So my guess is it's probably still going to go up. But you've just got to be aware of the fact that we may have had a channel and a break already. So just kind of sitting tight here. Okay, sellers at 13. That's a little bit low. 13.75. Now, it makes me nervous when there are sellers below the high. Up here, that's fine. That means I'm expecting a break and a new high, but the fact that there are some there, that concerns me. Now, a lot of the times they'll get absorbed anyway, as there's some here, so I'm not super concerned about it, but 2 legs down, it's probably going to be waiting for the higher low here, just in case this comes a little bit lower and maybe test this. I think there's a larger channel up. It's not quite right. I don't like it. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. It won't be a second. What did I miss? Nothing. Okay, I just thought me and my wife were having a couple of dry months, so I thought I'd have my last double of January. Okay, are we going to get 2 little legs? Okay, let's see how everybody else is doing today. How's he doing? Alpine's not having a good day. Trouble is, he seems to make money, but whenever he gets losses, sometimes his losses are catastrophic. How's Nutty doing? I like Nutty. Nutty's up a bit. Good on you, lad. I like him. He's a nice guy. Last double in January, correct. We've had a fair few bottles over Christmas, to be fair, and we did say we'd... I've stuck some weight on. I've put a stone on, I have. I'm about 15 3/4. What was I? Kind of September time. I was 14, just over 14 and a bit. My weight does fluctuate around about 14. Mind you, I'm quite broad. I'm 5'11", so I'm an inch under 6 foot. But with Christmas, I always usually put a little bit on at Christmas. But me and my wife are going to start doing some walking in the evening. And trouble is, over Christmas, when you got the cold nights, you sat in, usually munching on a bit of rubbish. But we did say we were going to slow down, or I did anyway. We've been drinking too much, I'd say. We've been going through, me and my wife have been going through a bottle a week quite comfortably. So, someone's gone short up here. Are they in it or out of it? Are we at the EMA? They'll be out of it. Yeah, Thomas Wade. Price action really sketchy lately. Couldn't agree with you more. It's not been easy, but we do get times like this. It just seems to be a little bit more extended than usual. So we got a couple of little legs back there. That is a second entry long, but the bar isn't great. It's no better on here. We got a couple of doges on here. I just can't take that. Just because the couple of doges, they just make it a little bit more risky. Now, my guess is price is likely to go on up, but I don't want to just jump in on what I consider not a great setup just because I think it's going to go up. That's not how I kind of want to work. There have been times when I'd have done that, but I mean, I follow the rules now, or what I deem as my rules. We all kind of see things slightly different. But I just sit back and wait for what I deem to be a good setup. And if you can see at the moment, if you look on Bookmap, where's the larger orders? They're generally up top, aren't they? Starting from kind of 16, which is there. And then 18, there are some. They're all kind of aiming north, aren't they? So there are some at 18. There are some at 20 up here. There's 200 odd contracts at 20. And where's 20? Right bang at that measured move. So right at that measured move, 2 legs up. So my guess is going to push up. Are we going to find some kind of a spike in channel and do something like that? It's possible. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It's not clear. So when it's not clear, what we can really do is jack shit, basically. We just sit and wait patiently. Today was much harder than yesterday. Missed the 15-minute all breaker. Yeah, I've never really looked at that so much. I know Alpine used to do that, didn't he? And for some reason, he stopped it, and he didn't used to like people watching him, but he's doing it again now, isn't he? He does it before the stream, so I don't quite understand it, but so many different ways to trade, isn't there? I don't fully understand it, to be fair, but I've looked at other. I've kind of looked at other slight different ways of trading. But I always kind of come back to this. The fact is, I've been trading Pats nearly it'd be 5 years in May. So when you spent that long kind of learning a strategy, I know it works. I know it's super accurate. Yeah, it's a bit naff at the moment, but watching that little clip I played last week from Tom Hugard, who's been trading for a long time. He's traded for big city banks. He did say, all strategies go for a period of where they're not very effective. So it's just kind of one of those things, isn't it? When you listen to Mac, he's not really talking about how difficult things is. I'm assuming he's been doing it that long. It's just all part of how things work. But I suppose it's kind of frustrating when you get to, so what my level now, I'm getting to that level now where I've come out the ditch and I'm slowly going north. My account's building up slowly, not as quick as I'd have liked, but I'm in that right place now. And now all of a sudden, when I've spent these years working hard, all of a sudden setups have dried up a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating. But I've learned over the years, all the frustration, all the wanting, all the praying and all this, not that I'm religious, but all that, you can't fight the markets. You just have to sit patiently and wait for them to give you an offering. See, I think you get to a level where really trading becomes not so much simple. You've still got to be on your game, but it becomes straightforward, for want of a better word. I now know what I have to do. And it does. That's why I like that quote from, I mentioned this last week, that's why I like that quote from Mark Douglas. For those who have learned to become consistent or broken through what I call the threshold of consistency, the money is not only within their grasp, they can virtually take it at will. I'm sure this will seem, I'm sure some will find this statement difficult to believe, but it's true. And it's exactly right. I like that. I printed that out a while ago. I saw it on Marco, sent me a picture of him holding a glass of whiskey. And I noticed he had that in the background on a picture, so I nicked it. I like that. I like these little quotes, but it's exactly true. When you get to the stage where you're at peace with the market and you can trade things how they're supposed to be traded, it's a nice feeling. It's a really kind of calming, relaxing feeling. And I'm in the best place I've been in the last 5 years. And I will say there has been times over the last 5 years where I felt depressed. I know my wife said I used to dread you coming down. Not that I've ever been violent. I've never laid a finger on my wife or my daughter, but she dreaded me coming down, just not knowing what I was going to be like, whether I was going to be upset, miserable. Twice I've been in tears, or whether I'm just going to be down and quiet. But trading has a way of changing your mood. It can send you for a period of just being miserable all the time. It's weird how it works. I'm getting a bit of a... It's slowing down here for some... we're moving again, okay. But it can make you miserable. But when you are learning, it is frustrating. I can't tell you how many times I haven't been able to sleep at night because something's not clear in my head. The good thing about knowing a lot of you guys in the US, at 2 o'clock in the morning, if something's bothering me, I can just drop a message, and I know you guys are between 5 and 8 hours behind me, and I can usually get the answer I need. That's why I tell you guys to message me if you have any issues, or you just need a chat, because there's nothing more frustrating when something's bothering you, and you just need sometimes when you're finding it hard, the best thing to do is to have a talk about it. Who was I talking to last week? Little Hammer. Message me. It's nice to have a chat, really, if something's bothering you or you're finding trading frustrating. Have we stopped? Oh no, we're working. So I've put that there, so whether it's valid, I don't know. We'll see what happens if we get down here. So I can't see. If this is going to continue up, it's going to do something like that. That's quite steep there. I expect a little bit of a correction and then a slow work up. So you look on Bookmap, you can see these orders up at 20 up there, right above where that measured move. At 16, you can see it there as well, which is there. There is a bit at 18, which is there. There are a few larger buy orders. There's quite a few buy orders in this area. So we may have a quick shove down. It's always possible we may even drop below this level here or possibly even here. But my guess is, looking at the daily and the way prices performed so far, I think overall we're quite likely going to continue up. We're not a million miles away from all-time highs. 20 points, basically, give or take a tick or two. So, have I got some buyers down here? There are some. There are just above 13-ish. Not a huge amount. Around about there. We may have hit them. Yeah, we have. So there are lots of 100 or so contracts around about this 11 area. You can see it there. Similar to above, you've got these slightly bulkier orders above, which for me is likely to, draw price up. But it doesn't mean it can't quickly upset you long and drop down before it works up. So there is a failure here. Second entry short failure, but you're going long into the middle of nowhere up there, so it may continue up or it may stop out. That red bar trigger you and pull back, but you need space to get out and there isn't any there. There's a tick at best. So you just can't go long there regardless of whether it works. It's irrelevant. Even if there's a bigger channel, we've made a new high anyway, so absolutely. It's weird. You go through all these different scenarios in your head. I can't tell you how many times I said, okay, that's it. No more stupid risky trades. And then all of a sudden you get into a risky trade, you blow an account, you sit back and you think, what the bloody hell happened? Why? Why did it happen? It's weird how all of a sudden that fight or flight just kind of jumps in and takes over. And it's almost like you have blinkers on and you're in and out before you even realise what's going on and you're blown. But I feel like now I've got time to breathe and make a better decision. I'm not fused by emotions. I keep meaning to make a little video about that because I think it may help people to understand, I've heard a million times, you need to stop revenge trading, you need to walk away from the charts, you need to change your mindset, but no one really explains how. And for me, it's kind of been obvious for quite a while. Exposing yourself regularly to those emotions, sooner or later, they don't have the same effect. And that's when things will start to calm down. And eventually you'll start to gain some control. And that's when you get that nice balance. For me, you kind of hit a plateau where you feel peaceful. I'm no longer frustrated or angry. I've kind of, you go to that far edge and you come back and then you start to realize that you just have to, you just need to kind of have to trade things how they are. Wanting, trying, risking, gambling, it just never works, but it seems like you've got no control over it. And then eventually it's almost like being in a bloody long, dark tunnel for a long time. And at the end you come out and all of a sudden you can kind of open your eyes and look around and appreciate the view and you're not frustrated anymore. Yeah, I've tried listening to him. He sounds a little bit too hippie-ish for me. Have you not listened to him? Sometimes you feel like going, you know what I mean? He's quite... I need someone to slap me and say, sort your life out and get on with it. I don't want someone to say, well, this is the caveman brain. I don't kind of respond to that. I like full-on, tell me how it is and blah, blah, blah. But I don't doubt he has good things to say, but you know, you react better to some people. I like the kind of fast and furious approach. Sort yourself out. You know, the you know what I mean. You know what he's like. But for me, it's simple. You know, if any of you guys, I know I did some skydiving in my youth, and if any of you guys all of a sudden now jumped in a plane and went up with me, I guarantee you'd be sat in there shitting yourself, because nearly everybody does. I remember the first time I got into a plane, my stepdad used to be in a parachute display team back in the 90s called the Trailblazers. It's just one of the things he did during his life. And they would go around to shows and all that sort of thing and jump out. And I remember he got me to do a tandem with one of the instructors which he worked with. And I remember going to Wiltshire in the UK to a place called Netherhaven, which was like a military Air Force base where, you know, people like the SES and the Paras and all that went to do their parachute training there. And I remember going up in this kind of 8-seater plane. I remember sitting there and I was strapped to this guy behind me, and I remember looking out thinking, oh shit, what have I set myself up for? And we were flying backwards and forwards, and it was quite cloud cover, and they were saying, I don't think we can do this. And I was just thinking, please let the clouds stay there. Please let the clouds stay there. And in the end, they found a little bit of an open area, and I remember jumping out. And as I kind of jumped out, it's kind of like your life flashing before your eyes. It's kind of a weird experience. Hey, Corinne, how you doing? It's a weird experience, and it all happened that quick. And I remember later on thinking about it, and it's such a weird thing to do. It's not normal. And I remember when we moved up from Winchester and we came up to Shrewsbury, where I am now, my stepdad was still alive at the time. He started going down to the local parachute centre. And I started going, and we go down for the weekend and we pitch up a tent and we go out on the beer and we go out and get paralytic at the night, and then we'd skydive in there. And when I got to about, I don't know, 40s, when I jumped out 40 odd times, it started to become less of an issue. Every time up to that, your brain starts ticking, what if my parachute doesn't open? Do I go through me cutaway and me blah, blah, blah? But after a while, when your body gets used to it, it has less of a fear effect. And it's exactly the same with trading. It seems to take a lot longer with trading. But if you do that same thing every day, those emotions, it's impossible to get exactly the same reaction day in, day out. And once those emotions start to die down, your thinking brain then starts to take over. And then you feel like you've got space and you can breathe and you can make decisions without that anxiety and panic taking over, and you start pressing buttons. It's weird how it works, but for me it's quite clear, but I've never had anybody explain it like that before, which is kind of why I thought about making a video, because if people think if they just carry on and keep doing it, it'll eventually go, but I've never heard anybody say that before, which is kind of weird. But yeah, anything where there's any kind of a fight or flight response, those emotions kick in, and you tend to don't think that kind of instinct takes over, and it's kind of like a fight for survival. Caravan in the pasture seat, exactly right. Yeah. He's kind of like what we would call kind of an old hippie in the UK. He's very calming, very quiet, never gets angry, you know, that type of person that maybe you want at the end of the night to put you to sleep. But I want something who's very, very strong-minded and quite to the point. I kind of respond to that. This is so goddamn slow. Look at this. This is all we've had. Market opens, general opening here. That's all we've had. But I've got that spike and channel. If you look the way it's kind of rocking up and down slowly up that midline, that looks okay to me. But you just can't trade any of this, really, can you? Without blinkers on. But this has been the slowest month that I can remember in trading, or 2 months. But even with a slow month with 20 accounts, I'm still up to around about 7,700. So even a disastrous of a month can pay you a reasonable wage. Now that's interesting. So we've had 2 kind of pushes up to the top. We're getting some aggressive buying now. That I'm guessing that was that. They're a few seconds behind, but we're hitting some of these points. So 250 contracts at 20. If you look further up, it looks like 25. There are more sellers. So we're slowly itching closer to all-time highs. Now we're getting very close to this measured move, but hopefully we get a couple of legs down, but it just doesn't seem to be the way lately. We need something. Something down here. Touch. If we can get a couple of legs to touch this area, that'd be perfect. Hopefully there are some aggressive sellers climbing now, which makes sense. We're right at the top there, so it's weird. Often you think that'll be the last place to buy, but sometimes it does that and just careers off, so it's odd. We missed the trade at 15.32. Are you on about that one there? Are you on about a long, are you? I actually had this marked as 2 legs down. Are you on about the failure? Second entry long failure. How far did it go down? I don't think it went down enough for me. No, it didn't. It would have to get down there. I'm assuming you're on about that. It would have to hit there for me. We're on about the long there. Feeling. My mentor once said, I was lucky and realised early, which is time is money, but money can't buy time. Absolutely. I got to say, it's harder for retail traders than it is institutional traders. As an institutional trader, you get all the support, all the backing, all the know-how, all the years of experience fighting in your corner. But as a retail trader, you're kind of on your own. It's a much tougher life. So when you get to the stage that you're consistent, you bloody well damn well have earned it. I will say that. You know, there are still things I don't know. I mean, I you know, futures contracts, the S&P 500, it tracks the stock market, the top 500 companies, but I don't know in what capacity does it work. What happens to the funds? There's still a lot I don't understand because it's never, you know, I've never needed to. So there's still a lot about the mechanics. of how this all works. All I know is how to read the charts and what to do where, but how the thing, the long, yeah, that one there, yeah. I did kind of have that. I think I drew a couple of legs down. That's kind of what I thought may happen, followed by a move up. We didn't quite get down as low as I was hoping, followed by a higher low. But that's the thing, as a retail trader, you don't know all the details, just kind of what comes along. But there's so many gaps. But, you know, the important bit is, can I read the charts? Do I really need to know what the S&P 500 is exactly? And you know, how does it all work? Not so much. But that's the trouble with retail traders. You are kind of left on your own, aren't you? You got to kind of learn it yourself, make the right decisions. You got no one. It's my system. It's related to the SMT, but not exactly. Yeah. So we do seem like we're getting a bit of reaction at the right area. So what I've drawn there, yeah, starting to make sense, but we do need a little bit of a pullback. Now, we've got this measured move here, followed by 270 odd contracts up here. So I think there's a good chance. Trouble is, though, sometimes the longer these orders have been here, the harder it seems to get to them. I don't quite know why, but we definitely need to get into this area before we could even consider taking a trade. See that bull bar there? That's kind of right in the middle. Although it worked, that is a choke point, isn't it? I think that needs to get taken out. So if we can take that out, it gets us in this right area. Usually before it goes up, a lot of times it will clear previous liquidity, and that bit of liquidity there is right in the middle of this. So I would say that would be a place that I would want to get below before I considered taking something which kind of gets us to the right area. But look at these aggressive buyers here. So just when you think the worst place to go long is right at the top of this, often it just continues on up. It's beyond me. Okay, 270 contracts right there to go long. See, I wouldn't be going long there, personally. Especially above the stops of that bar there. But it doesn't mean that person necessarily knows, or persons or whatever necessarily know what they're doing. Or perhaps they're jumping in long gear. They've got to stop down here and they're riding things up. Who knows? This is where I would want to get below. Come on, come down here. Same again, there's just nothing on this chart. Absolutely nothing. Anywhere. We had a couple of legs up. There was a lower high there. I didn't like it. We've had a bit of an overshoot here, so it can send it off in that direction, but nothing there, nothing here, nothing here. It's just been terrible, that has. Okay, we're heading back to the right area now. If I look on here, that would be a visual second entry long, but I would want to get down below that bull bar there, ideally below here, because that would be an area where there's probably some buyers, a high or low, a failure, whatever, but there's bound to be some stops there, so I would like to have a quick shove down. And to me, it's fitting nice. Touches there, absolutely neatly at the top. 2 clear legs up. So we're doing all the right things. My only slight concern is I've just put that there, so whether... Have a look, it's fitting neatly at the top, which means we could come down here. I don't know, it's just a rough guess, that is, but... It'd have to break below there for me to be interested, and then I think I'd have to wait for the higher low. A few more ticks, come on. I don't like it when it flickers around. Okay, Doji, nothing we could do there. Doesn't look terrible here. Hidden second entry long. Trouble is, we've got some liquidity down here, and that's what makes me concerned. I would like to get below there. It's not the worst looking trade in the world. It's not a huge bar, depending on where you get in, but there's no room to the tops for me, unfortunately. Tick above there. Not even a point. That ain't finished yet. So a tick above there. It's 2 ticks to the top. The ATR's flipping low. It's 1.7. That's the lowest ATR we've had for a long time. I can't go into that. Now, the fact that I think it may push up higher is irrelevant. But for me, I wanted to get below there. That ATR is super low. $10 minutes to produce 5 bars. Yeah. Mad, isn't it? Okay, excuse me just a second. Okay. Gotta get down here below. Thing is, I mean, we could get 1, 2 triple test here, maybe. If we can get below these bars here and finish nice and bullish here, channel break, new low, cleared previous liquidity, second entry long. Come on, have a little shove down. Channel break, new low. Come on, get down here. That will be 1, 2, 3 triple test. Albert, how you doing? How did you pass 20 PAs and how long did it take you to do it? I'm probably best off not telling you, actually, because it's not the wisest way to do it. So I traded them quite aggressively, to be honest with you. So it's not ideal. But I just kind of did one at a time over the space of a couple of weeks, I think, or a week or something like that. I tend to do it a bit at a time, and I trade them quite aggressively. I tend to go for 5 or 10 contracts on the NQ, but I wouldn't recommend that unless you can make money and you're just getting them to PA a little bit quicker, because it's risky. It's not so bad at the moment. It's 90% off at the moment. That makes it a bit cheaper. So because I tend to have about a 1 in 4 hit rate for every 3 or 4 I take. I tend to pass one. So, but it's not the best way to trade it, really, to be honest with you. So if you look on this second chart, there is a second entry long, but it's a doji and it's kind of floating in the middle of this chop. Although I think price is going up in the short term, I just wouldn't consider getting in the slightest on that bar. There's a tick to the top. Why valuations trade 1 by 1? Fund a copy trade. Why valuations trade 1 by 1? Yeah, so I copy trade all mine. There they are there. But to get them, I kind of had a few of them anyway. I think I had about 5 or 6, and I just picked up 3 or 4 evaluations, passed another one, picked up a few more, and I did it when they were quite cheap. They are at the moment. I think it was, I don't know, 6 weeks, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. It was 90% off and $65. And I tend to wait till they're cheap and then just try and get as many as you can. But if you're newish, I wouldn't suggest doing that, to be honest with you. You're better off just sticking to the one until you can kind of make money. But the good thing, if you can make money and you have got a bunch of them, you don't. I've taken about 4 or 5 trades this month. It's been a shit month, but I'm still up 7,700. So on an absolute awful month, at least with a bunch of accounts, you can still earn a living. So there you go, Sam. Long time no speak to. How you doing, mate? Are you back at it now, are you? Did you use stops for evaluations? I did, but I probably didn't pay much attention to them, to be honest with you. I traded them stupidly. I wouldn't suggest doing that personally. Good on you, mate. How you doing? I did see a picture, actually, of you and... in fact, I showed my wife of you, your wife and your baby. I don't know how the hell you got your baby to smile like that. That was a lovely photo. It was the last couple of weeks. I showed my wife, actually. Your little baby's smiling away. Big cheesy grin on her. Oh, shoot. Excuse me a sec. Hello? You all right? I called you, did I? Oh, I might have just hit my phone by accident. Sorry. Yeah, I am. Yeah. You all right? All right, love you. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, my God, sorry about that. I must have rung my wife by accident, I think. How old is it? It's a little boy. It is a little boy, isn't it? How old is he now, bud? Apex have banned me from buying more EVAs. Why? I have 5 PAs and can keep trading them, but not allowed to buy any more. I don't get that. I have heard of it, but I don't understand why they do it. My God, 7 months. Wow. Soon goes, doesn't it? Won't be long, mate, before she hates your guts. Wait till she gets to 17, like my daughter, or he, sorry. Oh, my God. Crikey. You have 5 PAs. Any idea why you think they did it? I'm assuming it's temporary, isn't it? I've heard of them doing it, and I don't quite know why. That's weird. Still grinding higher, looks like it, bud, doesn't it? That's weird. Has been moved to live. I suspect they see that I am taking much more than spending. I'll send you the email. Yeah, definitely, bud. Do you know what? I've heard that. A screenshot on Facebook. If they put you to live, okay, so they want to see how you trade. I am still taking payments, etc. Yeah, I believe they'll, at some point, they put you to live. They lump all your money together, put you to live, and then they take 10% or something, don't they? I'm not sure of the criteria or exactly how. See, I'm not paying them anything at the moment. I'm not, so... I mean, I kind of get why they do it. They have the scenario where you're losing money. They have the scenario then where they're paying people money. And they have the scenario when they're going, okay, if we're paying this guy trading technically a sim, rather than us keep paying for him, let's lump his money together and put him into a live account. At least that way, they're not paying you. You're paying yourself from the money you make, and so on and so forth. Do you have Laddie's Discord link? I think so. Let me just have a look. Invite to server. How do I do it? I'll try this. There you go. That's it there. Hopefully it works. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I have heard of a couple of people. I have heard of a couple of people been sent to live, to a live account. Every serious funded trader progress beyond the simulation environment. Okay, yeah. So you'll no longer be able to add. Okay. We'll continue trading existing PA accounts and active what's its account? You may reset and complete. Okay, no additional. This has impact on your current account payments. What's next? Continue trading peer accounts with consistency and discipline. Adhere to Apex's rules, and then create a trade as if it was a live account. Okay, yeah. So I think you're going from. I'm assuming if everything carries on how it is, you'll move on to a live account. Yeah, I have heard of people. Who was it went onto a live account? I think it was what's his name? What's his name? I think it was. Is it Volar or Voltar or something like that? Sure, he went onto a live account. Someone else I knew as well. I have heard of others. They just wait until you lose the accounts, then block you. I don't know, mate. Let's have a look. Just keep it and see what they do. Yeah, the trouble is, if you get to the stage where you're making consistent money, rather than them just pay you and then block you, it makes sense for them to put your money onto a live account. That way, they don't have to continue to pay you. You can make money from by yourself. Then, maybe they don't like Scottish people. Now that I understand. It's weird, mate. It's weird. Yeah, I do know. I've heard of a few people who've moved on to live. In fact, I'll tell you, I talk to now and again is a guy called David Poe who's works with affiliates from. Who works with affiliates. He messaged me a few days ago and invited me out for a meal in London, but it's a bit short notice and that for starters. The Apex are in London doing, I don't know, something promo or something or other. I might ask him about it. I know of about 3 people. Do we pay for this score the channel? Yes, I think it's $50 plus taxes. I think it works out at $60 a month. But you can always try it for a month and see how you got on, can't you? But yeah, it's good to see you back. I didn't know or not whether you'd given up, bud. I didn't know whether you'd given up. Yeah, oh, definitely. But I can't see. The trouble is, if every time people made money, they banned them, word would get out, and they would end up going down the pan. I know people like Nutty have gone onto live accounts on, I think, My Funny Futures and something else, because he had a bunch of accounts for 12 months. But I think if every time someone started making money, they banned them and blocked them. I have heard of people being banned and blocked, but Vlad is chaos. I tell you what, it wears you. I think he wears you out personally. I find him tiring, in all fairness. He's a nice enough guy, but I find him tiring. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he seems a bit angry, doesn't he? But yeah, I put it this way. I did a month, and then I messaged him. I'll show you the message. I did a month for messaging. Now, he does it on a Friday from 2:30 onwards. where they'll talk and stuff. Like, I haven't got time to do that because I'm trading, and he does it on a Sunday for 3 hours. And I just haven't got the time. So I messaged him. Somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I WhatsApped him. He phoned me up, actually. He asked for my number. He phoned me up 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I just put... oh, yeah, I just messaged him. I put, hey, pal, I'm not going to continue Discord. As I trade for a living, I need to trade and focus on Fridays, and I work better when I separate work and family time over the weekend. Wishing you the best for 2026. Anything you need, just shout. He's put, hey, no problem. Yeah, you're definitely a good trader. Hey, if you still want to be in it, I can make you a mod and give you free access, no monthly fee, blah, 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 just like Eric, Marco, Sean, and Ulysses. So he's done that. But the thing is, I've been trading long enough to know kind of how it works. So, I kind of make my own way now. But he's a nice guy, but I do find it hard work. It's hard to follow. He's quite stressed and angry. But he's a good trader. He knows what he's doing in the trading business. But because I stream on a Fridays and I trade anyway, and I just can't do 3 hours on a Sunday. Yeah, I tell you what, and I know for a fact why they ask for videos is because there are a lot of companies that do. We've got a couple of legs back here. There are a lot of companies that say we'll trade your accounts for you, and they want to see. There's no other reason to ask that. They want to see it's you and not some other company doing it. That's why I got that from a guy who works with them. So 1, 2, 3. If we break below this, that would be a second entry long. Now I'd expect a break here because we're struggling to get up to the tops. We still got sellers up here, so 1, 2, 3. Second entry long here, I don't think will be a terrible trade. So let's get one ready. Let's see how this works. So have we cleared previous liquidity? 1, 2, 3, that would be a triple test. I don't think this is a bad trade. Hopefully it won't be too big. See how it finishes. See how this finishes. I don't like that. Left chart is an inside bar, so I'm going to leave that at the moment. It's not the worst setup in the world, to be fair. Yeah, I mean the measured moves here. What I do like is we've got big sell orders, quite large sell orders at 20 and at 25, which is there and there. And also you could go 1, 2, 3 triple test, but the bar just wasn't very strong. It did break below previous liquidity. Not that one though. That's the one I wanted. But it broke below there, so you could go 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. It's hard to say at the moment, but I would have preferred it to break below there. Okay, we have now, so that's interesting. So let's see what kind of reaction we get now. No, okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Excuse me just a second. Okay. So, don't think there's any type of a larger channel up here. Not sure. So there are some buyers around here, 13 or so. Below that bit of liquidity there. Let's have a look. I know it's possible this channel could be slightly different. We've already had a break in a new high, and this may be either reversing or pulling back temporarily. Who knows? Could be correcting or something. Okay, so we did push below those two bars there. FOMC tomorrow, yeah. Sometimes FOMC is okay. Sometimes it's not a problem. I mean, it can't be any bloody worse than it's been lately. It's been awful lately. Come on, then. Kidder. God, this is a slow day. Consider it. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, so, mate. They kind of go from 500 to 1500. So it's just been really slow this last couple of months. I've taken 4 trades this month. Fortunately, all winners. I think I took 2 or 3 last month, obviously with Christmas stuff, but it's just slow. Yeah. There's my accounts there. They're just, I mean, the biggest one is 1500. There's a load, 930, 910, 930, 900s. There's a load there, and the lowest ones are the 480s. But I've just taken our daily trades, to be fair. It's just been slow. So slow. Yeah, only Apex at the moment, bud. Once I start getting these up to payment level, I'll start using some of the money. I want to slowly start to funnel some into my own account, and then also pick up a few more. It's good to diversify a bit, isn't it? So, I'll have a go at some. I've had Traderify before. I took. I think it was about September. I had 5 Traderify, got 4 of them up to $2,000 payment. So I'll probably pick some. I do like the straight to funded, although they're not cheap. They're around about $350, aren't they, Smart? But they do have some reasonable sales on that. So, but yeah, I'll pick some. I'll pick them up once I start getting some payments. So I think when I get to 3,000, I might take 500 out of each of them and then continue. But the plan is to get them to 7,500 each. And then if I trade one contract, I'm risking about 2%, which is kind of nice and low for prop firms. But yeah. Absolutely. It's always good to die. You just never know. I know Apex have been around for quite a few years now, but you just never know what's going to happen if you got all your eggs in one basket and something does go wrong. So I think it's good. So, hopefully this year I'll probably aim to get maybe 5 Traderify. No. Which is the issue with the going to live account. I do know a few people. In fact, I mentioned to Nutty about this maybe 6 months ago, because someone else has said they've got a message saying they can't take more evaluations, and it turned out that they were looking at putting them on. So, I mean, if you get a guy who's making money, you've got 2 options. You either pay him and ban him, or you lump his money together, put him into a live account, you take 10% of it. So that's kind of the scenario, and that's more the long-term scenario. Once people start making regular money, then eventually they'll say, okay, we can put you onto a live account. Because if you've got traders that can trade and make money, much better from our point of view. If let's say you had 20 accounts with $5,000 in each, that's $100,000. Or if they pay you that $100,000, straight away you're liable for tax. So, $40,000, $45,000, you're going to lose half of it more or less. Whereas if they put that straight into a live account, that money hasn't technically been earned, it's just been transferred. So you don't mind paying them 10% because, you're kind of better off yourself. But I kind of hit a point last year where I had a great 5 months, and then I had a bit of a panic, moved me stop, and lost all those accounts. And for the next 2 months, I bought and blew and bought and blew. I just went through that. And then I think August, September, I just thought, I can't keep doing this. So I got 5 Apex accounts, 5 Traderify, got them both up nicely by just trading properly, which I think is the first time I've really probably done it. And I ended up getting an $18,500 November. So you hit a point where you start to realise, I just can't do this anymore. I've just got to do it properly. Fast track lawyers issuing clawbacks. I don't know how the hell they can do that, because if you've spent 10,000 or 20,000 on getting accounts and you've only making 10, I don't see how they can do that. Because I'd say, well, hold on a minute, I want the money I've invested in. I don't know how they can do that, to be honest with you. There's no way they get a bloody penny out of me. Not a chance in bloody hell. Not that I ever traded with them anyway, but I don't see, if you've paid, I don't know, X amount of thousands in getting those accounts and you've made a bit, how the hell can they make you pay it back? US laws are different, yeah. I wouldn't do it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what it'd be like to having to give something back like that? I'm surprised that guy hasn't been bleeding attacked, I tell you. Yeah, it would, yeah. There's no way I mean, I don't own my own house anyway. I rent. I used to, but I rented in the end. I sold I had a business and an house, and I sold it kind of 2008. We just had a few financial issues, and we decided to just ditch the house at the time. But I wouldn't pay him a bloody penny. If you are paid from a fraud, it's not your money. But if you've given them money, all you're really doing technically is getting some of your money back, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'd say, fine, that's okay. You can have that money. I want everything back I paid. I know it's different in the UK, but they wouldn't get a penny out of me. Yeah. Do you know what? I get emails quite often from new startups. I've had 2 in the last few weeks. Let's have a look. Offering you, saying they've got a new startup. I don't touch them. We'll give so many evaluations to your viewers. I'm not touch. Oh, yeah, here's one here. Up and comings, opportunities. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. I just came across your honest and raw videos in your streams. I'm Henry, CMO of Pure Capital. We funded 10,000 traders here. We funded, I can't see it properly. We funded 10,000 traders with zero denial since 2022. I'm reaching out because there is an opportunity to build. I get these all the time. I'd say 1 a week for sure. But the trouble is, you don't know whether they're going to be 2 years or 2 minutes. I'm not getting you guys. I'm not shoving it down your guys' throats and, try these, they're great, because I don't know. I had one company message me 4 or 5 months ago saying they'll give me unlimited amount of prop accounts, but you obviously can't withdraw from them. But just to show people that you've got prop accounts. That's crazy, isn't it? In other words, let's get together. We'll make you some money. You can bullshit your viewers and pretend you've got real accounts. I didn't reply to them. It's shocking, that is. I mean, that's blatantly saying you can look like you're a good trader for your viewers, but you can't have any money. What's the point? I'm here to make money just like you guys. I'm here to become a trader. There's all sorts of stuff goes on in the background, but I ain't touching people like that. I'd rather let other people make mistakes and wait for them to get some consistency before I decide. Kellyanne some king lawsuit. Yeah, I know. Is the rent okay? I've got a 3-bedroom semi, and I pay, I think it's $780 or something where I am. It's not too bad where I'm in a really lovely area. I am. It's a nice town, but we owned our own home for about 8 or 9 years. And then in the credit crunch, I had a business at the time, the credit crunch, and I started struggling to make money. And at the time, the mortgage went up. Christ, I was paying $1,100 on a mortgage in 2008. So at the time, my mum said, "Well, why don't you, Rachel, sell your house, come live with me, and then you can kind of, see things out." But we decided not to do it in the end, so we ended up renting. We've got a great landlord. Any issues, no problem. We've been here now for 13, 14 years, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't interest me in buying anymore. You need to go. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. Take care, mate. Excuse me a sec. Excuse me just a sec. Okay. So what the hell is going on here? So, we got like a spike in channel. We've had a channel with a break and a new low. Now, what is going on here? It's not easy to tell you. The volume is really low. Is there some kind of a channel like this? Maybe. Doesn't look terrible, but it's a bit too early to do that. So possibly, I don't know, but the volume is very low today. So, but there we go. Thomas Wade has got something larger from the bottom here. I don't know. We're clearly working up in some kind of a fashion, but there's nothing you can really do at the moment. Let me just clear this up a little bit. Now, let's bend that. Yeah, you take it easy, Sam. We could end up doing something like that, couldn't we? We've had a kind of a small break and a new high. That's possible. Market should reverse there, you think so? So, let's have a look. So, around the 710, 79, we have sellers. In fact, let's do this. So, Christ, they're right up to 14, really, right around this area. So, there's loads of sellers around here in different shapes or forms. So, the largest ones I would have suggested would be probably 14 to 11. Hold on, Wilson. Hold on a second. So there is sellers there, which you kind of expect if you... Come on then. Come on. Come on then. Come on. Up. Come on. Good boy. So yeah, sellers there. So maybe there's a larger channel. I don't like the fact this is pushed down. It's one of those awkward days. Who knows what's going on? The trouble is, we had a move up with a pullback, a move up with a pullback, a move up with a pullback. It could continue on. It really could. Or it could come down. I got no idea. I will say, if you look at this side here, 25, 300 contracts, 20, 230 contracts, there's more sellers up here than there are buyers. So that, what does that tell us? That tells us that there is definitely a pull towards the upside. So from, say, 25 to 20. So there are sellers here. There are sellers there. So we've got a channel break, new low. So kind of two moves. But yeah, you can't just go long. And I don't know whether I want to go short, because we pulled up, pushed back, pulled up, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. That's the fashion. We're kind of daisy chaining up. So we've got a channel there with a break and a new low. We're testing the highs here, which you kind of expect overnight highs, for want of a better word. So, 1 second. Oh, excuse me just a sec. Okay. So, channel break, new low. Do I want to go short here? Second entry short? Not really, because overall, we've been doing this. Now, if the pattern's going to continue, we may end up continuing up. So, I don't really want to be going short there. CL chart has been absolute crap. Nothing there. Break new high. Nothing there, really. And we got an overshoot and a reversal. Push up, nothing here, nothing here. It's just chopping. I looked at this as a triple test, but I'm not going long into support there, but it went up. But then we just had absolutely nothing on this. Nothing you can do. There may be a larger channel down there. Second entry short's possible, but as we've been doing this all day, I'm avoiding it. Okay, channel break. New low. Push up into now. There are some sellers here. Not a huge amount. The larger ones are up to 14, 15 area, which is above price. So that's telling me I think this is more likely to test these areas up here. If you look on the right side of Bookmap, the orders above dwarf the orders below. You can see 20, there's 234. Shit, died. It's lost a bit of a connection here. Okay, so if you look on the right side, that condenses this bigger picture a bit. So if you look at done it again. You look at yeah, take it easy, buddy. Every time I point towards the damn thing. So 720, 240 contracts, 725, 300 odd contracts. So 2025. So those sell orders dwarf the buy orders. Now, unless aggressive sellers jump in here and sell this, it'll continue up. I can't see how this would be a good place to short because price generally over the day has continued up. So my guess is we'll at least push up towards these sellers and maybe test these highs. It doesn't mean I'll jump straight into a trade. My guess is we're probably going to push higher, at least temporarily. Where's that 20 level up here? So if you see we had those two moves down, what did we do? We tested the overnight highs, tested this support area here. So what was resistance became support, and we've had quite a reasonably strong move up. And if you look at what we've been doing all day, it makes sense. So the actual reverse as predicted gave you at least 4 points. Yeah, see this pullback really for me, or whatever you want to call it, is really just a pullback maybe to test previous before it pushes up. So I wouldn't have taken anything here generally because the overall day is bullish. I would just kind of sit and wait and try and catch something on that next move up. But you can see where it's been tested. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? We came down here and we bounced off overnight highs, boom, right to the tick. And another few bars as well, this area. So my guess is we're going to continue up, at least at the moment. Someone actually bought that bar down there. Leg and a leg. He may do quite well out of that, but not something I would do myself personally. High or low possibly, but trade did follow my rules, but not my judgment, so no guessing it. Yeah, it's not the easiest day, but to be fair, it's been, you know, although we've been moving up, I mean, you can clearly see we've been moving up, but there's been a lot of this choppy stuff, a little bit of sideways and a bit of a pullback, and you just never quite know. Nothing's set in stone, is it? And things can change, can't they? You just never know with all the stuff going on around the world. You never know when a bit of news may send things in a completely different area. I'd love to try and find some kind of a larger channel here. It kind of seems like there should be one. I mean, if you forget this bit, touch, it's close. It generally works, doesn't it? In fact, probably better off going for something like that. That doesn't look terrible. The trouble is, we've only really touched it twice, and you can make any 2 points connect, but visually, it doesn't look terrible. But I would certainly wouldn't trade here based on that. Ben, how you doing? Have you ever looked at smaller tick size chart in the years? I have in the past. I looked at the 1,000 tick chart maybe a couple of years ago. But it's like, the trouble is, what I find is if you decide to have another tick chart, you may see a trade or two and then you'll go, oh, that's way better. And the same first time I ever looked at the CL chart, maybe a year and a half ago, it looked fantastic. And then the last week or two, couple of weeks I've been trading, it's been shit. So sometimes a different chart can reveal a couple of setups. But I don't know, mate. What do you do? Do you have the 1,000, the 1,500, the 2,300 and pick the best of the, you know, it's hard to say, mate, really. And the main problem with Pats is you don't rely strictly on rules. It relies on, yeah, I mean, yeah, I know a lot of traders may say if it comes and tests these highs, they may just randomly buy here. And maybe 70% of the time or 60% of the time it might work. But not only in Pats do we wait for it to return to a certain area, we then rely on a certain looking bullish bar to continue on. And the chance of having the perfect storm is a lot harder. But, you know, although I've been trading 5 years, I still consider myself a relatively inexperienced. You know, the trading world is a massive market. It's a massive system that's in place, isn't there? There's so many ways. You know, sometimes I feel like a pig on roller skates. You kind of feel like your depth sometimes, but all I try and do is just try and control my little piece of the market and catch. But yeah, it's you can recommend 500 tick free. I know. Penguin trades the 500 tick chart. I mean, yeah, sometimes the more detail, you know, if we get a move up here, you go down to 1,000, we may get a higher low. So yeah, in some cases it'll work. But I have tried a few of these different time frames, and although sometimes they can, you know, seem to work a little better, it kind of swings and roundabouts. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But then you may find you spend the day looking at the 1,000 tick chart and you miss a trade on here. So I think they've all got their merits. But I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? But the bullish bar does not exist on a tick bait chart because the close isn't. Yeah, I mean, if it's closed here, it's not a bullish bar. It doesn't necessarily mean. It's just how it's particularly worked with the 2000th trade or whatever it is. So, you know, I've often thought about if we're in an uptrend, every time we come back and touch that EMA just to buy. And I dare say there are traders who do that very thing, but I kind of trade things all that I know how to at the moment. But as you get more experienced, you do start to notice certain things, and I may at some point in the future decide to alter things slightly. You know, you can see we're clearly finding some kind of support there, aren't you? We can clearly see that. So at some point, although that isn't really a setup, I may decide to just jump in here and put a stop below here. You know, you don't know how things change in time. 5-minute chart, you know, the time at close. But yeah, I know a couple of traders actually. I see on the Discords that have the 5-minute as a separate chart to look at, because sometimes the 5-minute can look really close to this. So there's the 5-minute there. We've kind of had very similar push up and that. It's a little bit steeper here, but I think every kind of time frame or chart or something has its merit. The one thing I'll say I like about trying the 2000 tick chart is the bars are all very, very similar size. Whereas if you look here, look at the size of some of them and look at the size of others. So, you know, if you have two legs back and you get in there, you may be taking a massive risk. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I like about the tick chart, is all the bars are very, very similar size. But I don't know, who knows? You kind of, you know, how you learn and how you're taught, you kind of tend to follow on, and maybe as your experience sort of grows, you may kind of alter things. What I heard someone say something a couple of years ago, every day's a school day. So you're always kind of learning, aren't you? I'm using the 2000 chart, works very well and easy to read. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of different ones, to be fair. I even thought about doing more swing trading with maybe the 15-minute and the hourly, something a little bit slower. Yeah, good girl. So, you know, okay, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now, we've got a bull bar here, so this may just decide to slice down and take that out. Maybe we've got a channel, maybe a leg and a leg. Clear this area. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing to a degree when I'm not 100% sure. But it has been crap lately. What I will say is Mac has been trading the 2000 tick chart, I know, for at least 14 years. And if you look back on a lot of his other videos, nothing's changed, apart from the size of the bars are bigger, maybe 50% bigger on average. But nothing's changed setup-wise. So he has been trading that for at least 14 years that he's been putting videos out there. So I don't know, what do you do? You can meet 100 people and they'll all tell you different ways that they can trade, and there's probably hundreds of ways, you know, to trade the markets, but you just do what you can do. Reversal is weak and disappointing. Yeah, my guess is, Bud, based on looking at the daily, that we're going to continue up. We're very close to all-time highs, very close. And we've kind of, you know, we pushed up, we had a pullback, pushed up new high, well, broke the previous high, another pullback, 2 legs up, broke that high there. We've had 2 legs down, push up, pull back, nice big bullish bar. We've had a little bit of a pullback, but that's looking quite positive. So, but by the end of the day, I really expect it to break new highs. So just with that higher low, if we looked at a higher low on a smaller time frame, you know, something like this, you know, we have a kind of pullback, you maybe get a higher low here, you'd expect to continue up. So I think we're going to push up and make new highs. So if you do this, there's kind of one leg, second leg takes us very close. So I wouldn't be surprised if this pushes up, but you never know. Based on the price action on the hourly chart, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, higher low, fill the gap, continued on. My guess is it's kind of likely going to continue up. You could probably even draw something like maybe a spike in channel, something like that, but everything's pointing to pushing up. Now, obviously on this daily chart, we could pull back 20, 30 points. May look nothing on here, but on the 2000 tick chart, it can look like a complete reversal. But my guess is by the end of the day, we'll make a new high. So we're literally 17 points from the high, 27 points from where we are now. So that's my guess based on what I'm seeing, but you never quite know. Now, if I was swing trading it and I bought here and put my stop down here, that might not look like a terrible thing, but there's not really much I can do about it at the moment, to be honest with you. See, if you do that, it looks very neat at the top, but the fact that we've missed all this, that concerns me. But visually, it doesn't look terrible. But if we pushed up to the top, pull back to here, it would look nice. But at the moment, in fact, excuse me a second, I'm just going to pour myself another scotch. Won't be a minute. Okay. Now we've got a channel down with a break in and an air low. We've got 1, 2 attempts to push high. Would I go short here? If we hadn't been doing this up all day, then yeah, possibly. But no, I'm just sitting tight here at the moment. Another difficult day. It is a second entry short, but that looks like a bit of a channel up with a break, so we could come down, bounce off here, trap a short and rock it up. I got no idea. It's looking relatively bearish at the moment. You know, it could, as you say, it could be reversing. Who knows? So a lot of these orders now are starting to disappear a bit. You can still see the larger ones up here, but that's a fair distance away now. So are we getting a shift? Who knows? It is a second entry short, but price has been going up all day, and we've had a pullback, a push up, and another pullback. So you may get stuck here. So there's a big order come in just below 12. Now I'm guessing that's right at the top. It is. So you can see those big orders there. There's about 600 contracts around there. Now, is that just sucking this up to trap longs in before it turns? I don't know. I'm certainly not going long here because those orders are below the top tick. If they were above that, I kind of get that. Yeah, take it easy, Rich. Yeah, it's an engulfing short bar. I wouldn't take it anyway, but it may come down. Who knows? You know, overall, we've been going up, and it may just drop like a Stone, who knows? Yeah, it could be a short trap. There's nothing you can do around here, to be fair. You go short, it may come rocket down. It may trigger it and push up. But you can see these orders. There are 600 orders right around there. Now, they may just drop those orders. They're a big chunk of orders. They may put those orders in just to trap some longs and then yank them. We'll soon find out. They've disappeared. They've gone. Now, they never, well, who knows? But they got yanked. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing did take a drop. You never know if we've got, I mean, I've put this there. We've got a second touch and possibly a third. It's fitted at the top nice, but that is, you know, how do I believe in that? I certainly wouldn't trade it. If I was 100% confident, I may have a go, but I'm not sure. It's not a huge amount of price action. There's still a lot of chop in it, so... what I'm using, bud, it does cost you, but I'm watching it free on YouTube. If you type in Bookmap live ES, you can watch it. Some other guy streams it, so it's free. Now, it's about 3 seconds behind, but it doesn't really make no difference to me, 3 seconds. So I just watch it, and all I do is pop it up there. So just type in Bookmap. Make sure it's live, because you can watch a stream from a couple of days ago. So make sure it says live, and it's free to watch. But all I want it for these areas where these passive orders are, so 3 or 4 seconds makes no difference to me. So I've gone from here. It's bounced here nice. It's bounced there. It may be starting to hold. It fits nice at the top. So is that how it's going to work? I don't know. You're welcome, mate. Could rock it up. I will say there's a short there that might be stuck. But you may get in here and this thing could come down and trap you. So if we get a higher low, I don't think it'd be a terrible trade. Once we get above that, we're going to hit some stops. But it's just something about it I don't like. It may trap you and then do this. I mean, if this is a short, it could just pull back, trap some longs, and then move down again. You know, there's gonna be traders marking this, isn't there? The whole thing looks like it's going up. So you think, yeah, let's go long here. We're trapping a load of shorts, and then all of a sudden, price goes up to the EMA and starts pulling back. I'm not saying it's gonna, but this is a no-go area, to be honest with you. It does look like it's holding there, but I've seen that scenario before. I just don't trust it. Would have taken it was above the EMA. Trouble is, I'm not seeing strong rejection off there. It's struggling to go anywhere. Now, Now, is this valid? I don't know. I'm not massively convinced, which is why I've just got it as 2 lines and I've got rid of the colour. Now, this could come dropping down, take out stops here, take out stops here. It certainly could. And I've seen this scenario before. I've been stuck in it many a time in the past, so I leave it alone. It's looping down, isn't it? There's certainly going to be more shorts there, I think. Selling this, I'm guessing. It's been such a slow afternoon, in all fairness. I mean, literally, market opened here, and that is all the price action we've had all afternoon. 3 odd hours. How long is it? Nearly 3.5 hours. Just 2 legs up and a bit of a pullback. It's mad. Well, absolutely, I wouldn't buy here, but, you know, my general take on the day is it's generally bullish. Now, whether this is valid or not, I don't know. So this is kind of crunch time. We're coming to a pivotal point, aren't we? You've got shorts in there for the start. Now, as the overall is bullish, are we trapping shorts for a quick, strong move up? If we push up there and we hit some stops, we may go up. But this is crunch time for me, so I'm staying out of this. It could go up, could go down. If it gets above there, there's a possible failure. If it gets above there, it's a double trap. It may shoot up. I don't know. Who knows? I'm staying out of things. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just enjoying my whiskey and just sitting on me, twiddling my thumbs today. I mean, if you're confident this thing's going up, and you buy here, what's going to happen? You've certainly got a big amount of stops here and here, so that might add to momentum. But it's too much a toss of a coin here, to be honest with you. But just looking at Bookmap, where's the stronger, most condensed amount of orders up here? High. So who knows? So you could go 1, 2, 3 triple test. We've pushed up. We've made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower. You've got bear's trap there, bear's trap there. That thing may take off. If it closed on its high above the EMA, I'd say it's got more chance of going up than coming down. I mean, look on Bookmap. Look at the orders up here. There's many more orders up high than there are down low, and that we know how that kind of works. It acts as a magnet and kind of sucks price up, but they're still quite a ways up. So it's been a real crappy day, to be honest with you. see we've had got the channel down with one leg down, testing the testing the highs. We could have a second leg down, test the highs, and this thing could take off. No idea. It's just so damn slow, isn't it? A sequence of lower highs. Why would you buy then? I wouldn't. Absolutely not. As I say, it's crunch time, isn't it? It's testing. This could go up, could go down. I've got no idea. All I can say is overall we've been moving up, but you've got to wait for some a bounce and a move in that direction really before you can. Who knows? It could completely reverse or it could continue up. I got no idea. So we've tested overnight highs. We may be testing it again. What's going to happen then? Who knows? So let's have a look at buyers 705, which is there. So buyers down here. So are we going to get two legs and it's going to continue up, or is it going to reverse? I got no idea. Okay, so some guy's looking at something similar. Or is he? No, actually, this is different. He's looking at that. That actually doesn't look terrible. So we could have something like a channel there with a break. That's probably a little bit better than I had before. So actually, let's move that further up there. That looks okay. Who knows? Who knows? Nothing's clear at the moment. There's nothing you can do. I mean, there's really big sell orders up at there. There's 300 odd contracts there. There's 500 odd contracts up at 30, which is there. So I still wouldn't be surprised if we ended up here by the end of the day. It just depends how the thing's going to fall. We could do something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We could end up doing something like that. 2 legs down. Oh, I got no idea, to be honest with you. It's not an easy day. Very low volume. So absorb them quite quickly. How long are we going for? 3.5 hours. I think I'm going to leave it there, actually. Really crap day today. I mean, usually I struggle to get that on my chart to save it, but I mean, usually I've got to stretch the thing right out to see what's going on, but that is very little volume overnight, I've got to say. Very little volume. It's odd. Bit of an odd day. Who knows? Sometimes we do this. Save chart image. Bit of a weird day. Lots of ups and downs, nothing super clear. So, guess I'm probably done, actually. I may come back later, I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I'll leave that on my chart anyway. Let me just flick everything over to Sim. So, one of those days again. We get many of them, don't we? Who knows what's going on? I might come back a little bit later. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. So, I'm going to leave you folks there. I appreciate your company. If you carry on trading, best of luck. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, and hopefully we may get a bit more volume. So, take care. Stay safe. Back tomorrow.